All right. How is everyone going today? Gimme Gammy. So I just thought I'd start off with, teaching you guys how to learn the basics of trading, right? So understanding support and resistance, understanding how to get your money moving in the markets. But at the end of the day, not everyone wants to, pay a lot for education. However, just understanding the very basics is going to stop you from getting wrecked. So just understanding, support and resistance and being able to put your money in different areas of value at a better rate, then you're going to potentially save a lot of heartache. Okay. So today we're just going to go over the very basics of support and resistance. We're not going to be teaching you any risk management or anything like that. There's just too many variables. However, we do teach all that sort of stuff in our private community. Okay. So today, beginner's guide, just a bit of a risk disclaimer. Please be advised that I'm not telling anyone how to spend or invest their money. Take all of my content as my own opinion and at your own risk. I assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in the content, okay? This content is for educational purposes only and is not tax, legal, or financial advice. Any action you take on the information in this webinar is strictly at your own risk. There is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. Past results are not indicative of future returns. So Capital Growth Traders assumes no responsibility for your trading and investment results. So just a little bit about myself. For people that don't know me, I am a proud father of two boys, Riley and Jace. My oldest is 9 years old and my youngest is 5. They're both little crazy hell raisers, which I love. They keep me on my toes. I'm an ex-FIFO construction worker, right? So I worked away for maybe like 10 years on all the biggest gas plants all around Australia, building transmission towers. So I've got a lot of experience in the construction industry. However, the 95 to 100-hour weeks wasn't really cutting it, and I actually hurt my back. So I couldn't really go back to my job, which is a good thing, I guess, because at the end of the day, that moved me to the next phase of my life, right? So just understanding that I actually didn't pass high school, so I did go to year 12, but I never got my year 12 certificate. International trading educator, speaker and seminar leader, self-made millionaire, full-time funded trader. I retired at 30, so retirement for me could be different to you, right? So retirement for me means that I don't have to go back to construction and I can live the life how I want. Even though I'm still creating businesses, I'm still getting into property, renovating, all that sort of stuff. But that's all the stuff that I want to do in my life. All right. I've trained over 4,000 people, 4,000 students successfully, and I've done NLP as a master practitioner. A little bit about my family here. Got my youngest boy here. This was my, past life, climbing transmission towers. Now I can hang out with the boys as much as I want, go to their extracurricular activities, right? So there is a possibility, there is a way to get out and start living the life you want. But it does take time, it does take effort, and it does take a little bit of commitment on your behalf. However, if you understand that, working to your 70 or 80 or starting to put commitment into something like this for 2 years, then, it's well worth it, right? So I don't know. If you do have that commitment and you can stick something out for, 12, 18, 24 months, then you're going to be in a way better position than you already are in life, right? So today, what you're going to learn, the unspoken truths of support and resistance, okay, in trading. Mastering the art of drawing support and resistance, streamlining your charts by eliminating unnecessary lines. Timing your entry at support with accuracy, buying at the optimal moment to capture market reversals and vice versa. abundant charts and illustrations to assist you in mastering support and resistance. So I get very interactive here. I'll show you guys live charts. I'll show you how to put these lines on your charts as well. So support and resistance explained. Support is an area on your chart where buying pressure could step into to push price higher. Okay, so as you can see here, price is coming down into this area of value here, which is now a support area. And people are saying, hey, I want to buy this asset here. They think this asset is a good cheap price to buy. So then price will start, this asset will start to go up from this area of value. Resistance. So resistance is an area on your chart where selling pressure could step in to push the price lower. Okay. So as you can see here, price is coming up into this area of value here, and we start to get rejected. We start to get pushed back down in the opposite direction. So this is what we call resistance. So if you think of something like pushing or a ceiling or a roof, price is coming into that area and then gets rejected and starts pushing back the other way. People are saying this asset is too expensive, so they're going to start selling from this position, or they're going to start selling their profits or their asset in this area. So when support is broken, it could become resistance, okay, and vice versa. So let's have a look at this. So the support line here, price is bouncing, and then all of a sudden it breaks through support. Now, what we're looking for is that break and retest back into this area. However, we still need to look for our confirmations, because this could be what we call like a liquidity grab, and it can just come down, stop everyone's stop losses out, come back, retest, and then push back in. So we always need that confirmation of what is it actually going to be doing, okay? So patience always pays in the trading world. And then the same thing with this resistance, we get pushed up into this area, rejected. And then same thing, we get pushed up, price pushes through resistance, and then we come back down and retest this new support. So you can see this was resistance, and now this area of value will now be called support. And all we do is just wait for our confirmation candlestick patterns here to take that next leg up, okay? However, if we don't get our candlestick patterns that we want to see here, will actually break back down and then continue back down. So same sort of thing, right? The liquidity grab, come back down, retest, and then shorts back down, okay? And I'll show you a diagram of this shortly. So let's jump into the charts. So if we jump onto, say, the 4-hour time frame, right? We've got a resistance level here. You can see, you know, we got a pretty big wick to the top sideline here. So we got rejected. We come back into this area, rejected. Come back into this area, rejected. Now, just before, like I was saying, we can push through here, and then this is now what we call support. However, we actually didn't get that retest what we wanted, and we actually come back underneath resistance, and now we've got that big wick to the top side. So we could be coming back down to the bottom of this channel through here, all right? Sorry, range, I should say. And like that. So now we've got a support level here, resistance level here, and this is how we identify that. Oops, give me a second. So as you can see here, we can actually zone this area. We can click on here, zone this here, and then zone that here down here. So it's basically saying when price comes into these areas of value, what are we waiting for? We're looking for those candlestick patterns to come out and push up and then get rejected through here. Now, just want you to ask yourself, if we actually took longs out of here, right, had the stop loss this little number here, 5.37, this risk to reward. So this tells me that every $1,000 we put on this trade that we're risking, right, we're going to be making around 5,370 USD. Now, what I want to know, how long would it take you to make 5,370 USD? This has taken around 4 days. Even one day here, we would have been tapped out. So 1 day to make 5,300 USD, which is around, I don't know, 7,000, 8,000 Australian dollars. So how long would it take you to make around 7,000, 8,000 Australian dollars? Now, a lot of people are always telling me that, you know, they don't have time to trade. However, if you look at this, this has been in the same area for 17 days. You can see up here, 18 days, right? Now, you can't tell me that if you understood the basics of support and resistance and you actually started to identify these areas of value, it's only going to take you a few minutes to identify once you start getting good. When you're at your job, when you're working away, you'll actually start to, you know, put your alerts in and stuff like that. And when your alerts go, it's just going to take you a few minutes to place that trade if it hits your criteria. Now, understanding that, we don't really need much time because we can trade to our lifestyle. If we're time poor, we can trade to our time poor lifestyle. And that's what it's all about, understanding this and learning how to make extra money, right? So then we can start reducing time at work with time in the business or whatever it may be. So then we can spend more time with the family, right? So being able to learn this skill is going to give you a lot more time back and financial freedom once you start to understand it. Now, let's go back into the charts. So how to draw support and resistance in a ranging market, okay? So number one is identify the range, horizontal lines at the top of the bottom of the range. Number two is draw a horizontal line at the level where price has bounced off the bottom of the range multiple times for support. And number three is draw a horizontal line at the level where price has bounced off the top of the bottom range multiple times for resistance, okay? And then fine tune the lines by adjusting them to fit price action. And number five is use the lines to trade by watching for potential reversals when price approaches the support or resistance lines. Let's have a look on the charts. So as we can see here, we've identified a range, okay? We've identified a range here. So if we go to our line chart, we can see this a little bit more clear. This is the very top of the range. And then through here, we can see a lot of wicks and everything like that. It's a lot of mess, but just identifying the highest point in that range and the lowest point in that range, we're going to have a better opportunity to start trading from the maximum points of reversal, right? So we don't really want to be playing in the middle here because then it's just a coin flip. We really want to be getting down at the bottoms here so we can have a decent stop loss. Because if you jump into the top here, stop losses are below market structure. It's not going to be really worth your time. Like you're only returning 73 cents on the dollar here. Okay, so understanding entry is crucial. Being able to put in a trade through there. Okay, so let's go identify another ranging sideways market. So we've got a resistance area here. See, markets will expand and then they'll contract and then they'll expand again, usually in the direction of trend. Not all the time will it go our way. However, if we're on the right side of the trend, majority of the time, we are going to be in a better situation than someone that wants to counter trend trade. So you can see this here. We've got the support and resistance. If we jump onto our line chart, we can see that it's pretty clean. So we could be playing in between here, getting identifying entry points to take that next leg up. For example, you can see here, right? I will color that green because green is for support. We've broken out of this resistance area. You can see over here, this is a rejection point. Rejection, come back up, broke through, then we've consolidated, and now we've pushed up through the top. If you could have taken this trade, all right, let's give it a decent stop loss. And then where are we at today? If we stay in the trend, we could have done a 19.8, so nearly a 20 to 1 on this. Right, so this means that every $1,000 we've risked, we made 20,000 USD. Now, even if you pick one of these trades a month, it's a good gig, right? How long does it take you to make 20,000 USD? Drop it in the comments below, and yeah, let me know. Jump back into the where are we at? Here we are. So we've just gone over that. So how to draw support and resistance in a trending market, okay? So identify the trend. A trending market is characterized by a series of high highs and high lows in an uptrend, or lower highs and lower lows in a downtrend. To identify the trend, look for the series of highs and lows that are consistently higher or lower than the previous ones. Number 2 is draw the trend line. Once you have identified the trend, draw a trend line that connects the higher lows in an uptrend or the lower highs in a downtrend. Start from the first low in an uptrend or the first high in a downtrend and draw a diagonal line that connects the subsequent higher lows and lower highs. Number 3 is draw the support and resistance lines after drawing the trend line. Draw the support and resistance lines. The support line is the level where price has historically bounced off and reversed back up in an uptrend, or where price has historically bounced off of and reversed back down in a downtrend. The resistance line is the level where price has historically bounced off of and reversed back down in an uptrend, or where price has historically bounced off of and reversed back down in a downtrend. Fine-tune the lines after drawing the support and resistance lines. Fine-tune them to better fit the price action. Look for areas where price has made multiple touches on the support and resistance line and adjust the lines accordingly. The more touches of a line has, the more significance it is. So if it's touched this trend line 5 or 6 times and then it breaks, the more significant of that trend to break, okay? Number 5 is use the lines to trade. Once you have drawn the support and resistance lines, you can use them to identify potential trading opportunities. Look for price to approach either the support or resistance line and watch for the price action to signal that indicates a potential reversal. For example, if price approaches the resistance line in the forms of a bearish pin bar in an uptrend, this could be a sign that price will reverse back down. Let's jump into the charts. All right, so let's clean all this up. So we can see here, if we start to draw trend lines, same sort of thing. They're a visual representation on the angle, okay? So understanding that these act exactly the same as support and resistance, but on a angle. The greater the angle, the greater the trend. So you can see that here. Sharpen that up a little bit. Now, you can use trend lines on all different things. However, if you start to try and run a trend line on everything, you're going to get really confused, right? So whatever the most obvious is, use that. Humans are very lazy, so you're not going to need to be sitting there and squinting and going, is this a trend line? Is this not? If it looks obvious, then it is, potentially a trend line. Okay. So running that. Now, if you get a little bit confused, you can always go up to the line chart here once again and switch that on, because, the wicks might confuse you a little bit. So just, click on the line chart here and you can see that. Cool. So just a bit of a recap here. Support reverts to a level on your chart where buyers may enter the market, while resistance indicates a level where sellers may enter. Okay. If a support level is breached, it may turn into a resistance level and vice versa. For a market in a range, you should identify the highest and lowest points to draw support and resistance and the levels. In a trending market, it is advisable to pay attention to the most recent 2 or 3 swing points to draw your support and resistance levels. If there's any Q&As, please drop them in the comments. Happy to answer anything. If you do want any more questions, it's shane@capitalgrowthtraders.com. If you also want access to our Unchained Facebook community, hit the link below and we'll get you into our community. And we run, free webinars. We run financial webinars there to get you into your journey of financial freedom. So hit the link below and jump into our private Facebook group, Unchained, and let's get you started in the financial markets.